According to the President's reading, if he believes that it breaks no new ground, probably because he's already got that power. Anwar Al-Awlaki was an American citizen. I believe his crime was blogging. His 16-year-old son, I don't know how many people know about this, his 16-year-old son was killed by another drone a few weeks later. What was his 16-year-old son's crime, I'd like to know?
Yeah, I don't know the particular exact case, but I will tell you this much, that the case, what Spider's talking about is a cleric, Al-Awlaki, and I got to tell you that is not my read on that guy. That guy was involved in killing Americans, and he was at war against the United States of America. But I think it also brings up another point, which is we don't have, in my view, we don't have a process right now to deal with that. You know, I think we need one. I think because if an American takes up arms against us, there should still be a process that an individual should have, even if it's in abstention. There should be a process. Now, I know that you're talking about, Tom, a bill that's out there, but you know what? I don't like the bill. Tom's talking about a bill. Spider, you'll get a chance to come back if you don't feel that this addresses what you're talking about. So there's a bill out there, H.R. 3166. Yes. And this bill by Mr. Dent from Pennsylvania, what he says is he wants to add, what he's looking to do here is add engaging in or supporting hostilities against the United States to the list of acts for which United States nationals would lose their nationality. Here's the problem. You read the bill, there's nothing in here about due process.
That's right.
There's nothing in here, so this bill's unsatisfactory. This bill doesn't work. Now, what we ought to think about is, you think about what we have right now. We have a FISA court, and before you can be searched, there is a court that convenes. There is an advocate that defends on behalf of citizens. There has to be a case made for probable cause before a warrant is rendered. What I think we need is something akin to that for situations like Al-Awlaki. That there has to be a credible public defender. It has to be somebody that we think, that we believe have confidence is a defender of civil liberties. In fact, they ought to go to the ACLU to try to get somebody to be nominated from this. Now, you may not like the ACLU, but I don't think there's any question that they're on the side of civil liberties. And this is my point. There ought to be a process by which, if you have somebody like this cleric that's committing war against the United States, the people should be able to bring a case against that guy. Even if he's not here, there should be a case. The American people should be able to come forward and say, we have a case against Al-Awlaki, and here's our evidence. And there ought to be a public defender that says, no way. This is specious. You can't, this is, no. And just take and drill holes in the argument. And the court should be able to make a decision on whether or not the government has a case. Now, am I willing to live with something that may be slightly different than that? I am. I'm willing to consider it. My point is, we don't have a process right now. So if you have somebody that's committing war against us, you know, we need a process. We need a process to adjudicate. The thing though, Tom, is that what I don't think is right though is we shouldn't allow one person, and this was part of the problem I think with the Patriot Act, is we didn't have the checks and balances in there. You know, our system was founded upon checks and balances and due process. And the reason why I opposed this bill is that I have no evidence at all that there's any due process here. So while I acknowledge that we need something, because because you know, for Spider, from what he's communicating to me, I get the impression you think he's innocent.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
You're just saying there's no due process.
He was an American citizen.
No.
He was given no process, due process or otherwise. He was just dusted off. What was his son's crime? What caused his 16-year-old son to be killed a couple of weeks later?
Spider, I don't know the particulars of his son, but I can tell you that I do know about the cleric. And I will tell you that I can't get into all the details, but I will tell you I'm convinced that this guy was committing war against our country. So if that means anything to you at all, I believe he was, based on what I know. But to your point, that, and I said this right from the very start, that we need a process, and we don't have one right now. We need a process that addresses this situation that we don't have. I will tell you, I would not feel comfortable if we had any president, even George Washington, that was exercising fiat over this kind of decision. We need a process that has multiple people, multiple branches, and that allows for some kind of advocacy. Check and balance. There has to be an advocacy. And somebody who we have faith in that will be an advocate for that individual. So, and I'll tell you, I've already expressed this. I've already expressed this to people in the Congress because this came up because of Ron Paul's position. And I disagree. I just respectfully disagree with Ron Paul on this. Based on what I know about the cleric, I don't think that he has the right position, but I don't think what we have is working for us either. We need to do better. I'm on the let's give Spider a chance if he wants to come back.
Okay. You said that there was no problem constitutionally with the NDAA that came out of reconciliation. I'm wondering why you co-sponsored which I guess now is 3709 rather than 3676, which is the original number, to specify the language in the NDAA. If the language in the NDAA was fine in the first place, why did you need 3709?
Well, I got to tell you, it's duplicative, and I don't think it's necessary. But the reason why I co-sponsored the bill is because of you and because of others. I represent in the United States Congress. I mean, look, to me, I'm clear that this bill is duplicative. But if it helps folks like you and perhaps some others across the district to gain more faith in it, I pass a bill. And believe me, it won't be the first time, and even in this year, that we've passed a bill that's duplicative. So if it helps you gain confidence in what we're doing, I'll co-sponsor that bill.
Thank you.
Go ahead, John. John would like to follow up.
I would like to follow up with the Al-Awlaki problem.
Yeah.
The way I understand it, there was an order given to the CIA on April 16th, 2010 to target Al-Awlaki one way or another, be it through killing him or bringing him to justice. There was no bill, but there wasn't a resolution until after, and I believe it was April 22nd, 2010. And the official bills came May 6th, 2010. One in the House, one in the Senate, and people were told that this was going to, that it wasn't necessarily directed against Al-Awlaki, it was going to prevent terrorists from coming back into the United States, blah, 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 crap. The fact of the matter is, there is no constitutional reason for this man to have not been brought before a court, before justice. And if we as Republicans or conservatives are standing on this booklet, the Constitution, why is this man not afforded, because he had dual citizenship, why was he not afforded the justice that we all say we want, and we can't give it out? Now, even saying that, I understand that, yes, he was definitely in some form, he was a traitor. He was in rebellion. He was about seditious conspiracy, advocating the overthrow of the United States government. I'm having a real problem with the fact that, no, he never got the justice that he deserved as an American citizen. And we have a secret panel that makes these decisions that nobody knew existed, and they're all unelected officials, and we're not included.
Yeah,
And,
I agree,
and
Dawn.
I'm having a real, I am pissed. I'm not having a, I am